When the population bomb came out, you were described as an alarmist.
I was alarmed. I am still alarmed. All of my colleagues are alarmed. The rate of extinction is extraordinarily high now and getting higher all the time.
Jesse, I'll start with you. Do you feel guilty?
For my
For
tall
not being
stature?
short? Yes.
I do. It keeps me up at night. Judge, you know, the shorts have been winning. They're on a little bit of a roll. Finally, in human civilization, they've started making a little bit of money. And now they're getting pity sex from green chicks. Let's talk about how this just started. For the
Pity sex
human
from
history, the shorts have not done well. Because usually you have to be
Napoleon did
strong
well.
and tall to prosper in the world, but then we started to modernize, and you can now make money through your brain. So now people are making money, the shorts, with brain power, and they're getting more attractive women
And you
because
tall, dumb people are irrelevant.
they're wealthier, all right? But then all of a sudden, these girls are going to start breeding with the shorts. Before you do that, let me just give you some examples of how that can go wrong. Lenin, 5'5". Napoleon, 5'4". Manson, 5'2". Carter, 5'9.5". Kim Jong-il, 5'3", Bezos, 5'7", Fauci, 5'7", Minnie Madoff, 5'9", and Nadler, 5'3". So before you start sleeping with the shorts, just realize
You left off Hitler.
this could happen.
Okay, but wait a minute. I want to talk to the so-called shorts. Dana, how do you explain this?
Well, I think that the New York Times is ridiculous. Remember, this is a company that ran the New York Times editorial editor out of a job.
Yes.
Michael Bennett's brother, Senator Michael Bennett's brother, James Bennett, because he dared to allow Senator Tom Cotton to have an op-ed in the New York Times. That is valuable, coveted journalism space, and the New York Times falls for it every time and does something like this. But I clicked because I was curious.
Yeah.
I want to know what about it. And I just told this story earlier this morning, but I'll tell it again for the viewers at home. On our trip, we were staying in a very nice hotel, and the bathroom had a motion light, right? So when you walk in, it's supposed to. Well, it couldn't detect me. So whenever I walked in, I had to wave my arm around, but it would turn off every 30 seconds. So every 30 seconds, I had to lean my arm out of the shower and no, I'm still here. I'm still here. So it's not all that great for the shorts yet. Jesse.
Yes. All right. Okay, Greg, did you marry a tall person or a short person?
Tall, but everybody's tall.
Yeah.
No, but I want to focus on Ehrlich because here's the deal. What drives me crazy about this is that you have a diabolical, dishonest media counting on the fact that everybody under 50 hasn't heard of Paul Ehrlich.
Yep.
And what a sham he was and how he turned out to be wrong on every one of his predictions.
Yep.
This is the guy who said the world was going to end, I don't know, 30, 40 years ago. The fact that they were able to dig him up was a testament to the fact they want that idea back. It's very anti-human, and it's going to be wrong, as it always is. Now to this height thing, which is really interesting to me. It's actually not about height at all. It's about size. But you can't say that.
But you just
No, think about it. It's not about height. It's about size. It's about how much you weigh. And if somebody at the New York Times wrote and said that being skinny was better for the planet rather than being fat, that person would lose their job.
Yep.
But if he did it this way and said, oh, it's short people rather than tall people, you kind of eliminate, you obviously eliminate the weight component of it, and you get away with it. I think this was done in tongue-in-cheek, but it was cowardly because you should have said, look, fat people use more resources than thin people. Now I'll get my things and go because I've been fired. Because that's what would happen.
You know, Jessica, you were someone who was very concerned about the environment. Did you marry a shorter man to save the environment?
I did not. I married a man substantially taller than me, which is hard to find, at least in the down the hall where I found him. I think that's interesting about the size thing because we don't talk about comorbidities when people pass away and the impact of having diabetes and weight and stuff like that. I think short and tall people are great. I am very happy to be a tall
You're like
person.
Harold.
Wow, Harold.
Yeah. But thank you very much.
I said I'm happier that I'm like this.
Oh.